Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the News on Map series. If you're new to this segment, I would like to inform you in a very brief manner what do we try to do in this segment. We try to cover all those places which have been in the news not only in India but worldwide through multiple choice questions like you have your prelims examination and those questions will be solved with the help of maps. So this is the gist. So I would like to suggest you to have an atlas. Better if you have a digital access of maps because for precision they are great. Let's try to solve the question which I gave you in the last episode of News on Maps. For those who have not understood, let's try to solve this question for them. So look at the map of India. It is the month of June and a person has stood at a certain point. He has to travel up to the Himalayas, but he has strayed from the direction and is able to find his direction from the celestial position. Okay. In the morning, he is standing in such a manner that the formation of the shadow is on the person's right hand. Okay. And a few kilometers away is the river Narmada. Of course, river Narmada is on the front side of the person's face. That means the person is facing towards the Narmada river. And his shadow is not formed at 12 in the noon. He waits till late in the evening for the pole star to emerge and we have to see which direction should he follow with respect to his initial position to the destination. Okay, so I hope this much is clear. Let's begin with our explanation. So these are the many options where we have to choose from. Now let's see where the person is standing. The person is over here. This is the destination. Okay. And then we have to make sure that the person is reaching the Himalayas. And we have to see that this particular area which I have dotted, this is the destination. But the person walks in such a manner that he strays from his position. A few kilometers away is the river Narmada. So from here to here, okay, we understood that the person is facing in such a manner, standing in such a manner that the river Narmada is few kilometers away and this is east, west, north and south. Alright, so east, west, north and south, this is the sun rising and these are the rays of the sun. The opaqueness of the human body is in such a manner that the shadow will form on the person's right and the person is facing river Narmada. So the destination of the Himalayas is at the back side, right? So the person, when the pole star will emerge, of course he will look at the back side of his body. So the correct answer to this question is in the direction of the back. Okay. So these are the certain points which you have to remember whenever the questions such as these come. That remember the position of the sun east, west, north, south. The sun is at the overhead at 12 noon and because of that the shadow is not forming. So all these are very important to understand questions with respect to direction. Without further ado, let's try to look at our next question. The nationwide lockdown of truck drivers in Canada. It is going since such a long period of time that North America has been in the news since quite a while. So please understand that whenever such places, specifically I have stressed and reiterated the importance of Middle East, that is West Asia, Africa, very volatile country, Southeast Asia as well, with respect to so many countries getting their heads locked, butting their heads with China. So all these regions are very important. So the nationwide lockdown is against COVID restriction. And because of that, we are asking the following question. Which of the following regional seas is the easternmost? For that, we have to know the map. These are the many options: Bering, Beaufort, Hudson's Bay and Labrador Sea. So let's see, where is Bering Sea? This is the map of North America. And we know that the importance of ranges bays are extremely significant for our examination, specifically for the places which have been in the news. So let's see, where is Bering Sea? Here is Bering Sea. This is the, I guess here it is the westernmost. Then we have Beaufort Sea, right? Now again we have Hudson Bay, and lastly we have Labrador Sea. These were our 4 options. With respect to these 4 options, the biggest issue, the biggest topic that we have to cover over here in our maps is of course the West Asian region, Arabian Peninsula region. So these are the many important topics that we have to discuss. Before that, Canada has been so much in the news that we had to take this question. So Labrador Sea, Hudson Bay, Beaufort Sea and Bering Sea. These are the many important regions in North America's map, and we had to see which one was the easternmost. So Labrador Sea is the easternmost, right? Here, as compared to the other 3. Let's move forward and talk about our next question. We have to consider the following pairs and match the relief with their location. Brooks Range, northwestern North America. Mackenzie Mountains, northwest North America. Then we have Labrador Peninsula in eastern Europe and Appalachian Mountains in North Africa. Now look at one thing, that Labrador Sea, of course, it is going to be near Labrador Peninsula. That means it's not in Europe. It is, of course, in North America itself. Let's see where Brooks Range is. Brooks Range is over here, northwestern North America. So first pair is correctly matched. Second, we had Mackenzie Mountains. I hope, let's see what was the second pair. Yeah, Mackenzie Mountains. So this is also in northwest North Africa, northwestern region. So this first and second state pairs, these are correctly matched. Then we have Labrador Peninsula and Appalachian Mountains. These are the Appalachians, and this is the Labrador Peninsula, not in Europe, but eastern. Basically, you can say it's, yes, eastern North America and not in Europe, eastern Europe. Then we have Appalachians, which are in southeastern North America. So let's see. North Africa, no. These two are not correctly matched. The correctly matched pairs are 1 and 2. Option A is the correct answer over here. Right? Let's move forward and talk about our next question. Which of the following group of countries represent West Africa? Okay. So these are the many options we have to choose from. Ethiopia, Benin, Liberia, Togo. Let's see. Where is Ethiopia? Then Benin is over here. Now, of course, as we had to select, I guess, West Africa. So Ethiopia, as it is in East Africa, this first option won't be correct, right? Zambia, Botswana, Angola and Namibia. Let's see where is Zambia. Now, Zambia is not basically in Western Africa, Southern Africa it is. Then this makes our second option incorrect. Then we have Sierra Leone, Liberia, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Togo. Let's see. Basically, Burkina Faso is over here, right? And what else did we have? Liberia, Burkina Faso, Ghana and Togo. Yes, Togo is over here. Ghana is over here. And I guess one more was Liberia. Yes. This is Sierra Leone and Liberia. So these group of countries are representing the westernmost region of Africa. This is a good shortlisted answer for us. Option C. Then we have Kenya, Tanzania, Somalia and Mozambique. Somalia is of course in the eastern extent of Africa. So this becomes incorrect. Option D becomes incorrect. Let's see what is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer over here. Let's move forward and talk about our next question. Recently, Liberia celebrated the 200th anniversary of its independence, and some insurgents have been killed in an operation by the French forces in Burkina Faso and Benin's West National Park. So, let's see what is the entire issue about. The question with respect to it can be framed in such a manner, it can range from lakes to mountains to important regions which are much in the conflict. So here we have to see another important news, that according to some reports, there is a danger of the next variant of COVID which can come from the Great Lakes region of Africa. There are certain Great Lakes of Africa. So Great Lakes region is basically a hotbed for new variants to come along. See, why do all these new variants come along even if we have vaccines? Because some part of the population of the world is vaccinated, others are not. Because of that, whenever suppose the COVID-19 variant of Omicron is moving from one person to another, it is able to adapt itself in the vaccinated and might look for pockets of weakness in the unvaccinated. Because of that, as the virus has itself the aim to survive, it tries to upgrade its version. So Africa is one of the regions where vaccination is extremely low, and that is why the threat is coming from that region, right? So the question is which of the following water bodies are not part of the Great Lakes region of Africa? Victoria, Chad, Tanganyika, Titicaca and Malawi. So let's see. This is the option, and let's see the Great Lakes of Africa. Malawi is a part of the Great Lake. This is one of the Great Lakes. Tanganyika is also there, and Lake Victoria, Lake Turkana, Lake Kyoga, Albert, Edward, Kivu, Meru, right? So we have Malawi, Tanganyika. Let's see. Malawi is a part, yes. Tanganyika is a part, and Victoria is also a part of the Great Lakes. Chad and Titicaca are not. So what did we have to choose? We have to select the correct answer. Correct answer is 1, 3 and 5, right? So 1, 3 and 5 is our option A. Okay, let's move forward and talk about our next question. So before we ask the question, we have to see why is it asked. According to the UN report, about 1.5 million livestock, they have died due to drought in Horn of Africa. And at the same time, there has been a huge reduction in the production of cereals, millets. So Horn of Africa is basically a region in which 4 very important countries of Africa are there. It is actually the eastern region of Africa, consisting of the countries of Eritrea, Djibouti, and also Ethiopia and Somalia. It is also known as the Somali Peninsula. Okay, so that is why certain facts are important for you to know the answer. Which one of the countries is located in the Horn of Africa and has the least area compared to the other 3? Which of the following countries have the least area in terms of extent, and that is as compared to the other 3? As I told you, how many countries? 4 countries are there mainly: Somalia, Ethiopia, Djibouti and Eritrea. As we see, Somalia is over here, pretty large country. Ethiopia, Eritrea, and as you can see, this is Djibouti. Djibouti is the smallest among the 4. So the correct answer should be option A, that is Djibouti. Let's move forward and talk about our next set of questions. Italy's Mount Etna volcano has erupted in the recent times. Okay, and we have to consider the following pairs. Volcanic sea, match them with area. Mount Etna, Tyrrhenian Sea, Stromboli, North Sea, Mount Pele, Caribbean Sea, and Mount Fuji, Western Pacific Ocean. Let's see, are they located correctly in the question? So, correctly matched pairs, first we have to see where is Mount Etna. Now, here is our Mount Etna, that is in Italy, near the Tyrrhenian Sea. Tyrrhenian Sea is near Italy, as you can see, this entire region. Okay, so first is, of course, as we see, here I have also put Tyrrhenian Sea for you to understand, have a better precision with respect to this. So, Tyrrhenian Sea is correct, Mount Etna. Then we have Stromboli, I guess it was, right? Stromboli, yeah. Stromboli is also in Italy. Okay, so here we have Stromboli, and that is also in Tyrrhenian Sea. And not North Sea. Where is North Sea? This is North Sea, which is near Denmark and UK, between Denmark and UK. So this is not correct, right? Second pair is not correctly matched. You can also have a look with respect to the elimination method. Whichever option has two, you can eliminate them. This, all of the above, of course, it will have two, this and this. So the correct answer would be 1, 3 and 4 only, right? 1, 3 and 4, that means Mount Pele is, of course, at the Caribbean Sea and Fuji, Western Pacific Ocean. Let's have a look at Mount Pele first before we move on. Here is Mount Pele and it is near the Caribbean Sea, correct. Mount Fuji in Japan and it is in the Western, this is Western and this is Eastern, Western Pacific Ocean. Okay, so 1, 3 and 4 would be our correct answer. Option C is the correct answer over here. Let's move forward and talk about our next question, which is with respect to the news of Israel's Prime Minister Naftali Bennett visiting Bahrain, and this is very significant because this is being considered as important, as there are strained relations between Israel and the Arab countries. So, let's see what our question asks us to do. A person has to travel from Israel to Bahrain by sea. Which of the following options given below are the correct, tells us the correct sequence of the territorial seas coming into the way. Okay, so these are the many options. Let's see where is Israel. Here we have to understand, here is Israel, the country of Israel, and the person has to travel all the way from here to Bahrain because we have the condition of the person traveling by sea. That is why many gulfs and everything would come. So, from Israel, this is the important section, understand. The person will travel, this is Gulf of Aqaba. Gulf of Aqaba first, then this is Bab el Mandeb, okay, near Yemen. This region is Bab el Mandeb. Then beneath Yemen we have Gulf of Aden, and then this is Strait of Hormuz, okay, near Iran and the peninsula. And we have to understand that the sequences are important. Gulf of Aqaba, then Bab el Mandeb, and then Gulf, of course, Aqaba, Bab el Mandeb, Aden, and then Hormuz. Alright, so these are the types of questions that will be asked in your prelims. This is how you have to cover the maps. Moving on, let's talk about our next question. The graph of war crimes from the army side in the eastern part of Myanmar, it is increasing day by day. And that is why certain conflicts are important for us to understand. If we talk about current conflict, we have to match, of course, we have to match armed conflict with the countries they were found at. Current conflict might be considered the longest conflict in history, and that was from the current region of Myanmar and not Bangladesh. So, because we have to select the correctly matched pairs, first is not correct. Panjshir resistance, Panjshir Valley is in Afghanistan, right? So, Panjshir resistance was not in Nepal but in Afghanistan. and Anglophone crisis is still ongoing in the Cameroon region of Africa, which is also known as Amazonian War. So Amazonian War is important for us to understand. This is a basic concept for examination, that whichever places are volatile in nature, we have to understand about them. We have to know their regions. So yes, here is Myanmar, current conflict. Then in Afghanistan, here we had our Panjshir resistance, and in Cameroon, the Amazonian War. Okay. So only the third pair is correctly matched. We have to select the option C as our correct answer. Let's move forward and talk about our next set of questions. Now, Tamil Nadu Generation and Distribution Corporation Limited has sought permission from the state government to start a hydroelectric project in the Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve. Very important biosphere reserve from the perspective of your examination. Tell me one thing. Is Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve a part of Man and Biosphere Program of UNESCO or not in the common segment? Right now. Let's move forward and talk about the question. Now this is one of the, whenever I put such questions, it might happen that you get scared with respect to the longevity of the question and bulk of the information. But these questions are the easiest because so much information has been given in a question that one or two sentences will definitely make you choose the correct answer. This is one of the important elevations of South India. This is a mountain. There is a mountain knot here. That means the mountains are meeting in such a manner that they might form a knot. Okay? From which the ranges of hills extend almost all around like this. Okay? Then the expansion of this particular mountain is in the 3 states. The biosphere reserve present here is included in the UNESCO World Network. And there are several tiger reserves in the vicinity which are important habitats for tigers. So, and if you look at the map, then the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats are seen meeting here. So many information, and it will be a child's play for you to answer this question. We are of course talking about the Nilgiris. Okay, the biggest giveaway was the presence of a reserve which is a part of UNESCO's Biosphere Reserve interconnection. And Doda Betta is found in Tamil Nadu. It's a part of Nilgiris and it is found in Tamil Nadu, and it has such a height that of course it is the highest mountain peak of Nilgiris. Okay, so you see that when Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats are meeting here, that is why they are connecting to become the Sahyadri is here and Eastern Ghats. So it might seem that they are meeting at the Nilgiris. Let's move forward and talk about our next question. We have to consider the protected areas with the river they are found at. So Kaziranga National Park near Brahmaputra, Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve, Krishna, and Kuno National Park, Narmada. So let's see where all these are present. First, we have to see what did it ask. Kaziranga National Park, Brahmaputra, and here we have Brahmaputra flowing here, right? Kaziranga, as we all know it, is in Assam, right? So here I will try to make you understand. Kaziranga is over here and Brahmaputra is flowing, right? So our first pair is correctly matched. Then we have Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. Let's see where is Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. Now here in Tamil Nadu. Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve in Tamil Nadu. Let's see the answer with respect to the river. So here we have not the Krishna river of course, but it's near Kaveri river, right? So of course our answer would not be correct, the second pair. This is Krishna. And here Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve is in Tamil Nadu. Second pair is not correctly matched. Let's put it out. We have Kuno National Park, which is in Madhya Pradesh. Let's see if it is near Narmada. Kuno National Park is basically, I would like to tell you, in Madhya Pradesh, somewhere over here. Okay? So this is not at all correct because Narmada is a little lower, on the lower side. Here we have Narmada River. And I told you Kuno is a little upward. Can you tell me at which river's bank is Kuno situated? So of course, third pair is also not correctly matched. Only first is matched correctly, second and third are not. Option A will be our correct answer. Alright, moving on, let's talk about our next question. Now the National Green Tribunal has ordered the Odisha government not to do any permanent construction in the Mahanadi Tarai plain. That is why this question is asked. Which of the following rivers flow in Odisha? So we have Mahanadi, Ramsar, Budhabalang, Godavari and Rishikulya. Let's see the map, the riverine map. So this is the map of Odisha and it will take you through certain important rivers. Of course, we have Mahanadi in Odisha. That is correct. Then we have Budhabalanga river here. Two do flow in Odisha. Then of course Rishikulya river over here near the Ganjam district. And the another one was Vamshadhara in the Raigad district, right? So Mahanadi, Rishikulya, Vamshadhara and Budhabalanga. And we also have Brahmani, Baitarni and many other important rivers. Indravati is also there. Kolab is also entering near Koraput, right? And we do not see Godavari, do we? We don't see Godavari. So, apart from Godavari, we could locate all the rivers. So, the correct answer should be all except 5, right? Let's move on to the next question. Now, this question is with reference to Mahanadi and we have to consider the following statements. Seonath, Mand, Jonk, Ib, Tel, these are its main tributaries. It is the only river whose source and the entire flow area is in Odisha. Then, the delta is also almost similar to the delta made by Krishna and Godavari, and Bhitarkanika National Park can be reached with the help of the main flow of this river. Let's see, we have to select the correct statement. So, first statement is definitely correct because Seonath, Mand, Hasdev and Ong, Tel, Ib, these are the main tributaries of the river Mahanadi. Mahanadi has its source in Chhattisgarh in Sihwa. So, the second statement is not correct with respect to having the source and the entire course of the river in Odisha. First is correct, second is not. Correct? Not correct. And its delta is definitely, it is one of the largest delta forming rivers in southern India, peninsular rivers. So yes, its delta is almost similar to the delta of Krishna and Godavari. Correct. But Bhitarkanika National Park cannot be reached through basically, it's near here, Bhitarkanika National Park, which cannot be reached through the main flow. It might be reached through Baitarni, Brahmani, because many, even Mahanadi, the main flow of the river cannot make you reach there. The tributaries, they actually form their own way in such a manner that the main flow won't be the correct answer when it comes to reaching Bhitarkanika National Park. So, only the first and the third statements are correct. B is the correct answer. Let's move on and talk about the next information first. 31 crores have been given for 5 years for the projects to the integrated management of wetland, biodiversity and ecosystem service project. And the project includes Harike Lake, Kabartal Lake and Sashtamkota Lake. So, the questions will be with respect to it only. Wetland and the confluence of rivers on which these wetlands are formed. Harike Lake, Bias and Satluj, Kabartal, Ganga and Kosi, Sashtamkota, Kaveri and Kambani, and Koleru, Krishna and Muneru. So, let's see our answer. Harike Lake is situated in Punjab, Yes, it is found and formed at the confluence of Satluj and Bias. So, definitely correct. The first pair is definitely correct. Second is Kabartal Lake, Ganga Kosi. No, Kabartal is actually lying here at the confluence of, in Bihar, at the confluence of Ganga and Gandak, not Kosi. Okay, Ganga and Gandak. So, second pair is not correctly matched. And then we have Sashtam Kota Lake, which is formed at Kaveri and Kavani. No, Sashtam Kota is not formed at the confluence of Kaveri and Kavani. Tell me in the comment segment which rivers, through confluence of which river or which single river it is formed. It is here, north of Ashtamudi Lake in Kerala. Okay, tell me in the comment segment fast. Next is our Koleru Lake, which is actually formed by the confluence of Krishna and Godavari, okay, here in Andhra Pradesh. Alright, so only the first pair is correctly matched. The correct answer would be one only, and do we have it? Yes, option A, only one is the correct answer. Let's move forward and talk about the next question that we have, which is the practice question for your next segment. Okay, so keeping in mind the Himalayan relief on the map of South Asia, an arc is formed by joining North India, Nepal and Northeast India. So which mountain or hill peaks might not be a part of it, right? So these are the many options that we have to choose from: Kamath, Makalu, Jaintia or Bareil range. This is Bareil, okay? Sorry for this. Bareil range. Alright, so we have to see the correctly matched pairs in the comment segment. That's it for today. Again, we will try to cover all the important places that have been in the news quite a long period of time in our next segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.